Okay, hey everyone. So it's been 3 weeks since I got COVID, and I am feeling so much better today. I've been slightly more productive the last few days. I've managed to do a few more things like vacuuming my house and throwing my sheets in the wash again, and I spent several hours in the barn yesterday. So I'm feeling much better. I did finish skirting all of those fleeces that I showed you last week. And if you haven't been following our TikTok channel, I've been putting videos up there. They're little 15-second or 1-minute videos, and it's under Black Sheep Fiber. And I do just little kind of in-depth tutorials, and I talk there, kind of like I talk to you now, but just short snippets of time, so that's fun. Tina has been doing a daily advent calendar on YouTube, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. She's been making cookies and needle felting and knitting and you know, just something a little different every day. Just kind of fun. What else do I need to tell you? I don't know, man. Oh, the postal system. Oh boy, that sucker is backed up. I ordered a package and it was shipped December 2nd. It's from another fiber artist because I've been spinning and knitting and kind of enjoying my stash again. So yeah, that got to ship December 2nd and it's still not here. Today is the 15th, I think. 14th? It's 14th. So yeah, totally not the person's fault. I haven't even contacted them because it's totally the postal service. And the funny thing is that one of the other shop owners I know said that she had shipped like 14 packages on the same day, and they are all still stuck in transit too. So there was something about December 2nd that just like screwed up a bunch of packages. Don't know what it was, but that day seemed to be a bad day for shipping. So if you're waiting on a package from us, so sorry. We're doing everything we can to make sure it's been tracked and we're following it. Hopefully it'll show up soon. So, you know, the Postal Service has been facing a lot of really tough issues this year, and it's just resulted in some slow packages, unfortunately. So let's see, what else do I need to tell you that's going on? I have been working on some hand knit socks out of my very own hand spun, and I'm doing a little series on TikTok with these where I show you all the different stages of the sock, and I'm ready to do the toe, so I have to do some videos for that. And if you noticed, I always fold my double pointed needles like this. This is my Kelly's Handy Little Tip, and then I take my working needle and I stick it through my work to hold everything together. So that's just one of those little things that I do to keep it nice and from going wonky in my bag. I'm working on a hat with mystery yarn. Yes, I have mystery yarn. Very rarely have mystery yarn, but this has been in my stash. I have no idea what this is or where I got it or when I got it. But I'm making a hat for my my massage therapist who's been helping me with all of my hip and back issues since I had Ina. So that's going to be his Christmas present. And it's just a really simple, it's a knit 3 purl 1, which is hard to see unless I open it up, and then you can really see the inside that I've got that nice knit 3 purl 1 ribbon going on. So again, I just fold it so that, you know, all my stitches are securely in the center, and then I take my non-working needle and I just poke it down in one side and up through the other, and now it's secure, and again, it's not going to come off my needles as easily. So that's one of the things that I do. It's just a little personal, you know, hint or tip for things that I do when I am knitting with double pointed needles to make it a little bit easier to keep your work from sliding off the needles. So today, I thought maybe I would show you how to fix mistakes. So I'm going to show you how to drop down and fix errors in your work. And I wanted to show you how to use that sock ruler again. You know, I'm very fond of the sock ruler, and since I'm almost done with the sock, it's a perfect opportunity to show you how to do that. And I also have a bunch of darning out here because I am thinking about a color work something, maybe for the Slow Yarn Crawl pattern for Black Sheep Fiber Emporium. We get to participate this year because we have a brand new category for Slow Crawl. It's called the bonus region, which is for online shops. So I am designing a pattern for us out of the lovely Darnie, and I'm thinking color work. I'm kind of thinking maybe like an over the head, like a short capelet poncho thing, something to cover your shoulders, keep you warm, and maybe giving you the option of a steek or no steek. So I don't know. If you think that sounds fun or interesting, let me know in the comments. I haven't started yet, so I can still change my vision a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and like move the table, flip the camera around, and get this situated so that I can show you how to fix some simple errors. And then Wednesday we'll look at some harder things to fix, like if you have a lace pattern or a cable pattern where you made a mistake, how to drop down and fix that. So I'll show you some of the easy stuff today, and then we'll get into some more advanced stuff on Wednesday. So let's do this, and we'll do this, and turn it around, and hopefully get you a little bit closer. There we go. I bought a new ring light and stand so I can hopefully have better lighting when we do this. So I have my trusty crochet hooks. Okay, and I think I'll get the hat out. This will be fun. So let's get rid of these for now. Oops. Okay, so let's take a look at the hat. Okay, so let's say that you are knitting along and you knit, and you notice that you forgot to purl a stitch. And so that's what I did. So I've knitted all the way along here. So let's say, oh no, I forgot to purl a stitch. So how do I fix that? There's a few different ways that you can fix this. You can, of course, just, pick back because you're really close to your stitch, and you can just do what we call tinking, right? So you just tink, back one stitch at a time. Now your other option, if you have made a mistake somewhere further along, so let's say, let's drop this down. So let's say that this stitch here was accidentally a purl stitch. I can make it a purl stitch too. Make it look like a purl stitch. And oh no, I made a mistake and there's this random purl in my work. Oh no, how do I fix this? So the first thing that you're going to do is get yourself a surface or a table, especially if you aren't familiar with fixing mistakes in your knitting. That's the best thing that you can do. You'll drop that stitch down just like I've done here. I already dropped that stitch down and opened it up so that it has the 3 bars from the rows above it. And here's our mistake stitch, because it's clearly a purl stitch and we had a nice line of knits until we hit this one. And oops, we made a mistake. So you can always use a crochet hook to hook back up if you want. This is a really easy way to do it. So you can just take your crochet hook and oops, make sure that you're getting the correct bar. But just put it through your stitch and hook it up. There's one. And let's do the next one. And 2. Okay, so crochet hook, always a good option. Now, let's say you don't have a crochet hook with you, which is valid. The other thing you can do is just take that stitch, you can put it back on your needle. You can identify which of the bars is the lower bar, which would be this green one. just bring it back up on your needle and then slip the stitch over the top. You'll do it with that last stitch in the row. And just like that, bada bing, we fixed our problem. Now I can see that I didn't quite hook this correctly because I'm missing this. Decline. Knocked my chair over too. There we go. I never get phone calls. That was weird. Okay, so that is a potential problem. So let's drop this back down and go fix. There we go. Fix it again. So now I have all of my strands. That's another thing. If you didn't knit through all of your strands, that's easy to fix. And just bring the next one up, pass it over, bring the next one up, pass it over. So let's move on from that stitch and give it a break. Let's say you messed up and you meant to have a purl stitch a few stitches below. Let's drop this one down. So we'll just drop a couple of stitches down. In order to put a purl stitch in, if you've mistakenly knitted instead, you need to, again, identify which of these bands is the one that you need. So you can clearly see this one's from the top row, this one's from one row down. So if you need it to be a purl stitch, we now have to put it in front. So just like this. And I could have used the tip of my needle, I just chose to use my crochet hook for demonstration purposes. And now when you go to make that purl stitch, you are going to move it like that. Because what you want to do is make the purl stitch. And when we purl, we bring our yarn to the front of our work up here, right? So we have to do the same thing with that strand of yarn where we need to fix it. Let me pop this off again and show you one more time. So here's our stitch. Just move this in front. And you can actually use your needle tip to do this as well. Just go in from the back, hook it through, and then make sure that your stitch is oriented correctly when you do it. So you can use the tips of your needles, or you can use a crochet hook to fix that either way. So now let's put it back together because we know we want this to be knit stitches. So I'm just going to lift this stitch over. I'm going to grab the other one, lift the stitch over, and then I'll go ahead and knit this one because now we've abused it quite a bit. And yes, you will be able to see where we've manipulated those stitches. They aren't going to look quite right until you go back in and block them. You can somewhat fix the appearance. This is the first one I was working with. You can somewhat fix the appearance of the stitch by pulling on the stitches next to it. Because what you're doing is you are redistributing the yarn that got pulled a little bit. Which caused it to bubble out. But a lot of this is going to go away in the blocking, so I just don't worry about it much. You can also pull on your work a little bit, because again, you're trying to redistribute the yarn that you have kind of moved around. And there I've made it look a lot better. It's a little bit harder to see where we were playing with that stitch now. So that's really, really quick and dirty, the easy way to fix a knit stitch or a purl stitch that you have messed up somehow. So what's another? Oh, here's another easy one. So let's say, oops, I dropped my needle. Hope I didn't freak anybody out there. Oops, I dropped my needle, right? I have all these stitches. Oh no. So here's the thing. Be calm, collect yourself, find your needle, or a spare needle even, and just carefully start picking up your stitches. If you drop a stitch and it runs a row below, it's okay. You can fix it. Now, if you've dropped this in a complicated pattern, take a deep breath. But again, you can fix it. It's not the end of the world. When you pick up your stitches, make sure that you hold the base of your stitches as you slide your needle in and check to make sure the orientation is correct. If it's not correct, all you need to do is just flip the stitch before you knit or purl it or whatever it is that you need to do. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's scary the first few times you do it. And if you're really worried about it, then knit a swatch and practice dropping your stitches, picking them up. Practice putting a purl in where you didn't want a purl to be, and then fixing it and dropping stitches down and bringing them back up. And it will make your life so much better because you won't fear making a mistake in your knitting as much because you can fix it. That's the beauty of knitting, is you can always fix things. So let's see, we did a knit, we did a purl, we did picking up stitches. If you've forgotten a yarn over, that's really simple. All you have to do is just pick up the bar between your two stitches and then go ahead and treat it as whatever stitch you need this to be, if it's a knit or a purl. That's super simple. If you forgot to do a decrease, sometimes I'll just pass a stitch over another stitch and call it good, and I won't even go back and fix it. It depends on what I'm making and how it affects my work. Let's see. Anything else that I should tell you about that? No, I think that's good. So it's kind of a quick video today. I just wanted to check in and let you know that I was feeling better and that, you know, I have plans, and we're gonna fix more things on Wednesday, and we'll fix cables and lace on Wednesday. I'll knit a little swatch, and I absolutely recommend knitting a swatch and making mistakes, making deliberate mistakes, and then learning how to fix it. It's definitely worth your time. So again, I'm just going to fold this in half, since this is my work and I don't want it to slide off of my double pointed needles. So just like that, stick this in, and then like that. And then this is going to secure it. I'm just going to throw this in my bag now. And this is not going to come out. You know, if you really push on them, you can make them come out. But they've got tension on them now. So this is how I keep my work together, and I keep it from coming off my double pointed needles. Works really well for me. Okay, one more thing before I go. So I love the sock ruler. I love these, carry these in the shop. And I'm pretty sure that we have some. So if you need one, go snag it. I love these things. They're super fun. If you like knitting socks or mittens, these are really nice because you can just stick it in to check your work. And I know that I need 9 inches, so I'm just going to very gently, I don't want to stretch this a lot, but I just kind of want to lay everything out and check it. And I am like right at that 9-inch mark. And again, I want to push it in a little bit because, you know, my yarn does kind of come together. And this is my own hand spun. This is a hand spun hand knit sock. I already have one done. Just right there. I have one done. And I'm working on the second one. But again, you don't want to like shove this all the way in. That's not good because it's clearly stretching the base of the sock. You don't want to be doing this. But you want to make sure that it's snug down in there and that you then roll your needles out. You don't want to let your needles roll back in. Roll your needles out to where they should be sitting. And that right there, that's how you use your sock ruler and check where you are. And you can, of course, use it for cuffs or toes, just depending on what you're doing. But yeah, so there it is. La-di-da. It's up to 7 inches there. This is about right. So let me flip this back around and see if anybody's on. Okay. So yeah, kind of a short check-in today because it took me a while to get Ina down for a nap, and then took me a little bit to get set up. But I have my ring light now. I have my tripod stand, so I can hopefully show you how to do these things. And if there's something that you really want to learn, drop a comment here. You can leave a comment on YouTube. You can leave a comment on TikTok. You can leave a comment on Instagram. And if you tell me something that you want to learn, I will do my very best to accommodate that. I know how to knit and tat and spin and crochet and weave and embroider, and I know a little bit about sewing. Tina knows more about sewing than I do, and she knows a lot about quilting. Did you know she used to be a quilter? Oh yeah. So between the two of us, if it's something I can't answer, Tina probably can. And we love teaching and we love sharing our knowledge so that you can learn something too. So make sure that you are helping us out by sharing our videos with your friends, liking the Facebook page, following the Instagram account, following our TikTok channel, following our YouTube channel. You know, whichever one of those social media things really floats your boat, follow us there so that we can help spread our joy of crafting and teach others all of the fun little things that we've learned. Because, you know, I have failed a lot. I've made a ton of mistakes, but I've learned every time I've done that. And I want to pass on what I have learned so that your mistakes hopefully won't be as big as mine. You know, really that's when we learn the most, right? It's when we fail, when we make a mistake, because it teaches us what not to do or how to change things to be successful. And I think it's really important when we're crafting to watch others talk about our successes and our failures, and to learn those tips and tricks so that we can be more successful as we move forward, so that we can learn more and understand how everything works together. So, having said all of that, make sure that you're checking out Tina's Advent calendar. Don't forget to go shop blacksheepfiberemporium.com. We have all kinds of fun stuff there. We just got a restock on square bobbins for bobbin lace making. We just got in some great new patterns, and we've made some kits for that Twisted Terraces poncho. And what else did I put together? I don't know. We have lots of new stuff coming in, and fun things, and we're going to try and share more of those with you as we move forward. So anyway, I am feeling much better. We're back to our normal crafting medium. And I'm hopeful that as we move forward, I can teach you more things that you want to learn. So you just have to let me know. And remember to share us with your friends, tell people about us, help us get our name out there so we can keep showing you fun, crafty things. Yeah, it's you know, I'm feeling a little energetic, and I'm like ready to tackle the world. I've been spinning again. Oh, I just finished some spinning too. Just finished this, and I just finished these. Tina talked about Jane and her art yarns. I just finished these kind of because I was thinking about Jane. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these. I'm not really an art yarn person. This is much more my style right here. And actually Tina might like this one. It's very neutrally with a little pop of blue. I don't know. I'll have to see if she wants it for Christmas or something. Anyway, we got all kinds of stuff going on, and we love sharing with you what we're learning. So, like I said, just help us out. Give us a like, give us a follow, share us with your friends. And until next time, please stay safe. Please don't get COVID. It's really awful. Wear your mask, wash your hands, limit that social interaction as much as you can. And remember that we are so happy to ship you things, or if you need some extra pictures, just send us a message and we'll try to get that taken care of. We are doing appointments, but they are one at a time, one person at a time, and you have to contact us ahead of time. You can't just show up to the shop. We went to strictly appointments, and in fact, all of our groups are still virtual right now because, well, we're still in a pandemic, and we want to keep everybody as safe as possible so that you guys can keep crafting. Because I'll tell you what, when you go like 10 days, 2 weeks with very minimal crafting, and I mean very minimal crafting, you just don't feel as good about yourself. It makes you feel very behind. It makes you feel very lost because it's something that you're used to doing on a daily basis. And in fact, I've felt that a lot throughout the last 2 years because Ina has been so little, and I haven't had the crafting time that I used to have. And so I felt lost for like 2 years because I didn't get to do my daily knitting or spinning or tatting or whatever it was. You know, my little bit of crafting that made me feel sane and like a person. And I'm so glad that she is finally embracing some of my crafty things and is interested, and she'll let me knit for a little while. She'll let me spin for a little while. She'll let me sew for a little while, so that I'm getting that daily crafting interaction that really makes my brain happy and makes me feel better. So anyway, having said all of that, I know I keep digressing. I'll see you Wednesday. We're going to talk about how to fix mistakes with cables and lace on Wednesday. And don't forget that I'm doing other fun series on our TikTok channel, and Tina's doing that advent calendar on the YouTube channel, and we'd love to hear from you. So make sure that you comment and tell us anything that you are interested in that you'd like us to show you, because we like to teach. So I will see you guys Wednesday.